She said, "This is who I am. If you don't like how I live, then leave." On my birthday weekend, I smiled. Okay, then packed every last thing I owned and left the key on her counter, did exactly what she said. Hours later, her calls hit 47 missed. I'm probably about to get roasted for this, but I need some outside perspective because everyone in my life is telling me I overreacted. I'm Tanner, 31M. Work as a construction project supervisor here in Nashville. Been with Devin, 28F, for about 8 months now. She's a real estate agent. We met at my buddy's housewarming party, and things started off really good. But for the last few months, we've been having the same fight over and over about her best guy friend Austin. Austin's this club promoter dude who's basically attached to Devin's hip whenever she goes out. And I mean attached. Like, they're dancing together, he's buying her drinks, posting stories with his arm around her, the whole thing. When I bring it up, Devin acts like I'm being crazy and controlling. He's just a friend, Tanner. You're being insecure. But here's the thing, I've been around long enough to know what disrespectful behavior looks like. My dad put up with my mom's bullshit for years until they finally divorced when I was 16. I learned real young that when someone shows you they don't respect you, believe them. So this past Friday, Devin tells me she's going out to some new club with Austin and the crew for the grand opening. This is the weekend we had plans to celebrate my birthday. Dinner Saturday, hiking Sunday, just us two spending time together. I asked her if we could maybe postpone the club thing since it was my birthday weekend and we'd already made plans. She rolls her eyes and says, "Tanner, I already committed to going. Austin is counting on me being there for the promotion. Your birthday is just one day." It's not about the birthday, Devin. It's about you constantly choosing to put yourself in situations that disrespect our relationship. That's when she got that attitude I've seen too many times before. Look, this is who I am. I'm not going to stop living my life because you're uncomfortable with my friendships. If you don't like how I live my life, then leave. Now, most guys would probably start arguing at this point. Try to convince her, explain their feelings, maybe even beg a little. But here's what I've learned from watching my old man make that mistake for years. When someone gives you an ultimatum like that, they're telling you exactly how much they value you. So I looked at her and said, "You know what? You're absolutely right." She seemed surprised that I agreed so quickly, but she grabbed her purse and headed out to meet Austin and whoever else. The minute her car pulled out of the driveway, I called my brother Colt and my buddy Wade for help. I'd been staying at Devin's place most nights for months, had clothes, tools, furniture, basically 8 months of my life spread around her apartment. By midnight, we had everything loaded up. Took 4 trips, but we got all my stuff out. I left her house key on the kitchen counter with a note. "You're right. I don't like it," so I left. Now I'm back at my own place, and my phone has been going off non-stop since 3 a.m. when she got home. 47 missed calls, Devin. 47. The texts started confused. "Where are all your clothes? Did someone break in?" Then angry. "This is so immature. Are you seriously being this petty?" Now she's trying to call me to talk this through like adults. But here's the thing. She gave me a choice. She said if I don't like how she lives her life, I should leave. So I did exactly what she told me to do. My family thinks I should have tried to work it out more. Wade and Colt are proud of me for not putting up with disrespect. Devin's been texting my sister trying to get her to convince me to call her back. Reddit, did I handle this wrong? Because honestly, I feel more peaceful than I have in months, but everyone keeps acting like I'm some kind of asshole for taking her at her word. Edit. Holy shit. This got way more attention than I expected. Reading through all the comments now. Edit 2. A lot of people asking about Austin's reaction. Haven't heard from him directly, but I'm guessing he wasn't expecting to actually deal with the fallout of his behavior. Edit 3. For those asking, no, I'm not planning to respond to her calls or texts. She made her choice clear. I'm just following her instructions. Update 1. So after I moved my stuff out and left the note, I figured that would be the end of it. She told me to leave. I left. Simple, right? Wrong. Saturday morning around 10 a.m., my phone started blowing up. Not just calls and texts. Devin had apparently recruited half her social circle to contact me. Her roommate Tegan, her sister, even some random girl from her real estate office I'd met once. all saying basically the same thing. Devon's devastated. You need to call her back. This is all a big misunderstanding. But here's the kicker. I also got a message from someone I wasn't expecting. Austin. Dude, what the hell did you do? Devon's been crying all morning saying you disappeared. This is seriously fucked up. I screenshot that and sent it to Wade, who just responded, this motherfucker has some balls. So let me get this straight. Austin spends months encouraging Devon to disrespect our relationship, and now he's mad that there are consequences. Around noon, Devon showed up at my place looking like she'd been hit by a truck. Makeup everywhere, still in her club outfit from the night before, clearly hadn't slept. The conversation was enlightening. Tanner, what the hell is wrong with you? How could you just disappear like that? I didn't disappear. I left, like you told me to. You know I didn't mean it like that. How was I supposed to know what you meant? You seemed pretty clear. That's when she really lost it. Started screaming about how I was playing games and being manipulative by taking her literally. Like the problem was my interpretation, not her words. Normal people would have stayed and fought for the relationship. Normal people don't give ultimatums they don't mean. She couldn't answer that, just stood there crying, expecting me to comfort her for the consequences of her own actions. But the most revealing part came when she started talking about Austin. Austin feels terrible about this whole situation. He thinks maybe he should have been more careful about boundaries. Where is Austin now, Devon? What do you mean? I mean, you're here crying on my doorstep about losing your boyfriend. Where's your best friend who's so important that you chose him over our relationship? She got quiet real fast. Turns out Austin had been busy all morning when she needed someone to talk to. Suddenly not so available when the drama turned real and she actually became single. After she left, I got curious and checked Instagram. Austin's story from Friday night was all about the club opening, including several videos with Devon dancing. But Saturday? Nothing. Radio silence. I mentioned this to Wade when he stopped by later, and he laughed. Man, that dude was never interested in being her friend. He was interested in breaking up your relationship. Now that it's broken, his job is done. That hit different. Made me realize Devon wasn't just disrespecting me. She was being played by someone who actively wanted to destroy what we had. Sunday afternoon, Devon tried a different approach. Sent me this long text about how she understands now that Austin was probably causing problems and she's willing to cut contact with him if I'll consider working things out. But here's the thing. It's too late for that. Not because of Austin specifically, but because of what her behavior showed me about who she is. She only wanted to make changes after she lost something, not because she respected me enough to make changes when it mattered. I finally responded to her Sunday evening. Devon, you made your position clear Friday night. I respected your decision. Please respect mine. Haven't heard from her since, but I did hear more about Austin from my buddy Jake, who works at the same club. Apparently Austin was bragging Friday night about how he finally got rid of that controlling boyfriend and was planning to make his move on Devon, except now that she's actually single, he's nowhere to be found. Almost like he was only interested in the chase, not the catch. Some people really show their true colors when the consequences hit. Update 2. Well, Reddit. It's been a week since Devon told me to leave and I actually did it, and this girl has been putting on a masterclass in manipulation tactics. I thought after our conversation Saturday where I explained that I was literally following her instructions, she'd back off and accept that it was over. But apparently Devon doesn't handle losing control very well. Sunday she tried the reasonable discussion approach. Long text about how we're both adults and should be able to work through this maturely. Said she was willing to compromise on the Austin situation if I'd be willing to move back in and start over. I didn't respond, because what's to compromise? Either you respect your relationship or you don't. You can't halfway respect someone. Monday it escalated to involving other people. She called my sister Haley, crying about how I abandoned her without warning and how much she loves me. Haley called me asking if I was sure I was doing the right thing. Haley, she told me to leave. I left. What exactly am I supposed to be unsure about? But Tanner, she's really upset. Maybe she didn't mean it the way it came out. Then she should have thought about that before she said it. Tuesday, Devon's mom called me. Her mom, Reddit, telling me that Devon has been heartbroken and that I should be the bigger person and work things out with her. I was respectful but firm. "Ma'am, I understand you're concerned about your daughter, but she made her position very clear. I'm just respecting her decision. But you know she didn't really want you to leave. Then she shouldn't have told me to." Wednesday was when things got really pathetic. Devin showed up at my job site around lunchtime. My crew was eating sandwiches by the trucks when she pulled up crying. Wade saw her coming and just shook his head. "Here we go." She begged me to talk to her privately, so I walked her away from the guys. Didn't want to embarrass her in front of my crew, but I also wasn't budging on the situation. "Tanner, I made a mistake. I was drunk and angry when I said that. You know I didn't mean it." "Devin, you said it at 7 p.m. before you started drinking, and you've said similar things before when you were sober. I'm willing to stop going out with Austin if that's what it takes." This is where I realized she still didn't get it. She thought this was about Austin specifically, not about her fundamental lack of respect for our relationship. "It's not about Austin. It's about the fact that you think you can treat me however you want, and I'll just put up with it because you're pretty. That's not fair. What's not fair is telling someone to leave if they don't like your behavior, then getting mad when they actually do it." She left crying again, but not before saying I was throwing away 8 months for nothing. Thursday she tried a different angle. Sent me screenshots of Austin's texts, where he was apparently asking her to hang out and she was declining. Like she wanted credit for basic relationship behavior. I didn't respond to that either. Friday was the most ridiculous one yet. She had her roommate Tegan call me to tell me that Devin had been crying all week and wasn't eating properly. Like I was supposed to feel guilty for following through when someone gave me an ultimatum. "Tegan, I'm sorry she's upset, but she made her choice clear. I respected it. She didn't think you'd actually leave. That's her problem, not mine." The best part of all this? I haven't heard a word from Austin since that one message last weekend. Apparently when the relationship drama got real and Devin actually became single, he disappeared real quick. Almost like he was only interested in causing problems, not dealing with the consequences. My life has been so much more peaceful this week. No arguments about where she's going or who she's with. No wondering if she's going to disrespect our relationship again. Just work, gym, hanging out with friends who don't create drama. Devin taught me something valuable. Some people make threats expecting you to negotiate. They don't actually want you to take option B. They want you to fight harder for option A. But when someone shows you that little respect, the smart move is to call their bluff. Edit. The support from this community has been amazing. Thank you all for helping me stay strong. Edit 2. Several people asking about Austin disappearing. Yeah. It's almost like guys who encourage disrespectful behavior don't actually want to deal with the aftermath. Edit 3. For those concerned about Devin's eating habits, she's a grown woman who made a conscious choice. I'm not responsible for managing her emotional reactions to consequences. Final update. Hey Reddit. Final update on the Devin situation. It's been about 6 months since I packed up and left after she told me to leave if I don't like it, and I figured you all deserved to know how everything turned out. TLDR of previous posts. GF chose club nights with male friend over relationship respect, gave me ultimatum to leave if I didn't like it. I took her literally and moved out while she was at the club. She spent weeks trying every manipulation tactic to get me back. First off, my life has been incredible since I got away from all that drama. Work has been amazing. Turns out when you're not stressed about relationship bullshit constantly, you can actually focus on advancing your career. I got promoted to senior project supervisor, and I'm now managing 3 major construction projects around Nashville. The pay bump has been substantial, but the biggest news, I just closed on my own house 2 weeks ago. 3-bedroom, 2-bath place in Hermitage with a workshop in the garage and a big backyard. Always wanted to own property, and without Devin's expensive taste draining my bank account, I was able to save up for a real down payment. Wade helped me move in, again, and we spent the weekend setting up my workshop. Having my own space where I don't have to worry about anyone else's drama or demands feels incredible. As for dating, I've been taking it slow, but I've been seeing someone for about 2 months now. Her name's Bridget. She's a nurse at Vanderbilt, and the difference in maturity level is night and day. When she goes out with friends, she texts me when she gets home safe, When we make plans, she keeps them. Basic respect stuff that shouldn't be revolutionary but felt amazing after dealing with Devin. Now for the Devin update, because I know that's what you're really curious about. About 3 months ago, I ran into her roommate Tegan at the grocery store. She filled me in on what Devin's been up to since our breakup. Apparently Devin is still very much living that club lifestyle. Still going out with Austin regularly. Still posting Instagram stories from different bars and parties. But according to Tegan, she's been struggling with dating because she can't find anyone who understands her. She keeps going on dates with guys who want her to tone down the partying, Tegan told me. And she says they're all controlling. I didn't say anything, but I was thinking, maybe the problem isn't that all these guys are controlling. Maybe the problem is that Devin thinks wanting basic respect in a relationship equals control. Tegan also mentioned that Devin still brings up our relationship sometimes, saying things like, Tanner was different, and, I should have handled things better with him. But apparently she's learned nothing, because she's still doing the exact same things that destroyed our relationship. 2 months ago, Devin actually tried to reach out to me directly. Sent me a long message on Instagram talking about how much she'd grown and asking if I'd be willing to grab coffee and catch up. I didn't respond. Not because I'm angry anymore. Honestly, I'm grateful to her for showing me exactly who she was before I wasted any more time, but because some chapters are meant to stay closed. Last week Wade told me he saw Devin and Austin at some club downtown, and she looked miserable despite being surrounded by people. He said it reminded him of something his dad used to say. Some people are so busy trying to prove they don't need anyone that they end up proving exactly that. The craziest part is looking back and realizing how many red flags I ignored. Like the whole club thing wasn't really about Austin at all. It was about Devin needing to feel like she had power over me. And if someone does that with something like this, they'll definitely do it with bigger stuff down the road. That ultimatum she gave me still makes me laugh when I think about it. She knew exactly what to say to try to control me, but I took her at her word instead. Makes me wonder how many other guys just rolled over when she pulled that move. I think what really gets me is that she only wanted to change after she lost something. That's not love. That's just not wanting to lose a game. Bridget wanting to keep our plans wasn't some big dramatic gesture. It was just normal. Like what people do when they actually care about someone. I almost threw away my own standards because I thought that's what you do when you love someone. But being with Bridget now has shown me that real relationships don't require you to accept being treated like shit. I'm in my own house now, with a woman who doesn't need special rules to treat me right, making more money than I ever have, and sleeping peacefully every night. Meanwhile, Devin's still explaining to people why every guy she dates is too controlling for wanting her to act like she's in a relationship. Some people never learn. But that's not my problem anymore. Thanks for all the support over these months, Reddit. This community really helped me see the situation clearly when I was second-guessing myself. Edit. Blown away by all the congratulations on the house. It feels good to have something that's completely mine. Edit 2. For people asking about Bridget, we're taking things slow, but she's wonderful. The peace of mind that comes with dating someone who doesn't create problems is amazing. Edit 3. Several people asking if I think Devin actually learned anything. Based on what I hear through mutual friends, no. But some people have to learn the hard way that actions have consequences. Edit 4. Someone asked what advice I'd give to my past self. Simple. When someone gives you an ultimatum, take them seriously. They're telling you exactly how much they value you. Act accordingly.